The year is 2050. Afghanistan, a nation etched in history, stands at a crossroads. Decades after the US withdrawal and the Taliban's return, the country grapples with its future. The world watches, a mix of apprehension and cautious hope, as AI provides glimpses into what life might be like under continued Taliban rule. These predictions paint a complex picture of a nation grappling with its past, present, and the uncertain terrain of the future. This is not a story of a dystopian future, nor is it one of utopian peace. Instead, AI models analyzing vast data sets of political, social, and economic indicators offer a nuanced view of a nation suspended between tradition and modernity, isolation, and the desire for global engagement. The Taliban, once a guerrilla force, now grapple with the complexities of governance in a technologically advanced world. Their ideology, rooted in a strict interpretation of Islamic law, clashes with the aspirations of a young population eager for progress and connection with the wider world. This essay delves into the AI predictions for Afghanistan in 2050, exploring the multifaceted aspects of life under continued Taliban rule. We will examine the political landscape, the social fabric of society, and the everyday lives of Afghan citizens. From the potential for economic development to the challenges of international relations, from the impact of technology to the looming threat of climate change, we will navigate the intricate web of possibilities and uncertainties that lie ahead for Afghanistan. The year is 2050 and the Taliban's grip on power remains firm. AI predictions suggest that the regime has consolidated its control, evolving from a primarily militant organization to a more sophisticated governing body. However, this transformation has come at a cost. The strict interpretation of Islamic law, once confined to rural areas, now permeates every aspect of life in Afghanistan. The justice system operates under Sharia law, with harsh punishments meted out for offenses ranging from theft to adultery. Public executions and amputations, once common, have been replaced by more subtle forms of control. Advanced surveillance technology, provided by foreign powers seeking influence, allows the Taliban to monitor citizens' activities online and offline. Dissent is swiftly silenced and any opposition is met with brutal force. The once vibrant Afghan media landscape has been stifled, replaced by state-controlled outlets that disseminate propaganda and reinforce the Taliban's ideology. Social gatherings are strictly regulated, with music, dancing, and other forms of entertainment banned. Men are mandated to grow beards and attend prayers, while women are largely confined to their homes, their lives restricted by a suffocating interpretation of Islamic modesty. Education, once a beacon of hope, has become a tool for indoctrination. Schools, now segregated by gender, focus on religious instruction and the glorification of the Taliban struggle. The AI predictions paint a bleak picture of a society grappling with the consequences of the Taliban's ideology. While the regime has achieved a level of stability, it has come at the expense of personal freedoms, human rights, and the aspirations of an entire generation. The international community, wary of engaging with the Taliban, watches from a distance, grappling with the moral dilemma of providing aid and support to a regime that so flagrantly disregards fundamental human rights. In 2050, Afghanistan under the Taliban remains a land where women live in the shadows. The promise of equality, briefly kindled during the years of international intervention, has been extinguished. AI predictions show that the Taliban's ideology, with its strict interpretation of Islamic law, continues to relegate women to the margins of society. The most visible symbol of this oppression is the mandatory burqa, a full-body covering that conceals women from head to toe. Leaving home without a male guardian is strictly prohibited, confining women to the domestic sphere. Access to education and employment remains severely limited, perpetuating a cycle of poverty and dependence. The few women who dare to challenge these restrictions face intimidation, harassment, and even violence. Education, once a beacon of hope for Afghan girls, has become a tool for indoctrination. Schools, now segregated by gender, focus on religious instruction and the glorification of traditional roles. Girls are taught obedience, domestic skills, and the importance of early marriage and motherhood. The dreams of higher education, professional careers, and political participation are nothing more than distant echoes for a generation of Afghan women denied their basic rights. The AI predictions paint a bleak picture of the future for Afghan women. Despite international condemnation and the efforts of women's rights activists, progress remains elusive. The Taliban's grip on power, coupled with deeply ingrained patriarchal attitudes, continues to stifle the aspirations of half the population. The international community, while providing humanitarian aid, struggles to find effective mechanisms to pressure the Taliban into respecting women's rights.